Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another race. Today we are racing on What's the Limit. This is going to be a ZRL course here in like a few weeks, so this is going to be part of the recon. Not this exact video, but this race will be part of the recon if you watch that. I've been racing 3 times this week. It's Friday. This is my 4th race. My legs are feeling it, but I'm hoping to get a podium today. Today is all about that podium. I feel like I'm going to be one of the stronger riders in this pen today. So let's get into it. Let's ride. Let's go hard. All right, guys. Welcome to What's the Limit. It's going to be a crazy race today. We have 31 kilometers with a bunch of climbing, a bunch of escalator climbs, and we are back in the USA kit. You know what that means. It is not a it is not a Z Racing series. It's not a Zwift Racing League race, but just a regular Friday day race that I decided to join with the DBR clan. And today is going to be an interesting start. I very much wanted to get a little bit of a breakaway out here, get some legs moving. On the mini-map, you can tell that there's not a ton of climbing in this race. There's no KOMs, but there are 2 times up the Brooklyn Bridge the reverse way, so it's considered a sprint instead of a KOM, yada, yada, yada. It's still decent amount of climbing, and a lot of escalator climbs. I mean, I count 1, I count 2, I count a 3rd, a 4th, a 5th. I mean, 5 escalator climbs, and a few different ones that I haven't done yet. So it's a bunch of new routes, a bunch of new roads on this good old New York City, whatever you want to call it, route, world, expansion. But either way, in this race, we have a few flyers off the front, and this is where the first escalator climb kind of comes into play, and we start stringing the group out. You see in the top right in the map that the group is it's whole, but it's kind of strung out after that climb, making people work to stay in this group. And I've been kind of towards the front for most of this, and my heart rate is getting finally back down as I'm going in between zone 2 and zone 3, and my legs are kind of feeling it at this point, and my heart rate may not show it, but I'm definitely feeling the 3 days of racing already this week. And it kind of, part of me is thinking during this race, maybe I should do the FRR tour again. We'll figure that out. Maybe later in the year. But coming up to our second escalator climb up into a new kind of spot that I feel like I haven't been in New York City yet, but it is what it is. It's going to be a flat into the Brooklyn Bridge reverse. Not much. Actually, completely new. I don't remember this at all. I was like, I've never raced this part, which is extremely cool. I liked the intro into this part of the bridge. So, very fun, very interesting. And it's only 3-4%, but I decided to get up out of the saddle and actually push extremely hard towards the top of this. And that's because I want to string this group out. I want people's legs to be in the gutter by the time this race ends, as it's about a 50-minute race, which is longer than your typical Z Racing race. So that is another reason why this is a ZRL route up this upcoming season. Now right there you see the person in the ghost jersey. They currently, as of the beginning of the race on Zwift Racing website, they have the hardest sprint in this bunch other than myself, and I don't have that much of a big sprint. So I was like, all right, if I can start straggling these people, kind of choking out these riders at the back of the pack, kind of the stronger sprinters, and hope that I can get alone with some of these guys during the final sprint, it might be advantageous for me for a victory. Basically, I'm playing the strategic card, and I know that I do have a few rivals in this race. Now, we do have this front group down to around 35 riders, give or take, out of 54. So we've done a decent job during the first part of this race. And now this is the new escalator climb that I have not seen yet. It's a little bit longer. You see a lot of red numbers, and then there's even more climbing right after that escalator. So a 3% out of a 19%. It's tough. It really hurts the legs, and we kind of continue this very fast pace, it feels like, right after. And we have one off the front, which, yet again, I'm not worried about anyone going off the front when there's still 15 kilometers left. Nothing crazy, but the pace does pick up going down back into the subways of New York City. I gotta figure out what these routes or these roads are called so I can kind of be more of a smarter recon route rider, I guess. And we are just hanging out in the back, drinking our drink, dropping ride-ons, and just staying in the draft. That's the most important thing about Zwift racing, is staying in the draft and using as little power as possible. I mean, a lot of riders are using 2.8, 3.2 watts per kilogram just to stay with this group. Well, I'm kind of just sitting in the back, dropping 2.5, 2.6. Like, I'm doing a great job at staying where I'm at and not worrying too much about others. Now we come up to the second Brooklyn Bridge. Now I have to imagine that there are a bunch of different bridges in this. This just like, I don't know. Anyways, going into this bridge again, some people were out on the front of this, and I decided to put down some power after, and I'm looking at the mini-map during this climb, and I don't really see us dropping anyone. It seems like everyone is extremely strong on this bridge, and it makes me very intrigued to see statistics going into multiple races on New York City with this bridge, because I feel like I can get dropped anytime on this bridge, but I don't see a lot of riders actually get dropped on the bridge itself. So I don't know if it's just me. I know I saw a comment earlier this week that was saying that they don't like the Brooklyn Bridge elevation either. Like, it's tough on them. They've been dropped, but like in all my races, I feel like I don't see anyone getting dropped during this point. But going on with about 7 kilometers left in this race, I notice on the bottom right of my screen that the Ghost Clan, the one guy that I was truly worried about in the final sprint, has been dropped. So I feel a little motivated at this point that, okay, there's definitely going to be super strong riders in this group, anyone who's made it this far. But am I able to win a sprint finish at this point? I don't know. But we have some flyers off the front, and I'm just going to push 300 for a few seconds and just stay with these guys. Like I said, we're down to the last 5 kilometers. There's no reason for me to really need to push anything too far. And if you can zoom in, I'm going to pop up the final 4 kilometers here on the map, but basically, there is a small little downhill section going into an uphill section for the finale of this race. And I've got one thing in mind, and that's going to be to absolutely crush a sprint on that downhill, fly up that little bit of a hill, and then put down the rest of the power, hopefully finishing in first for, I wouldn't say a sneaky breakaway because it's not that far into the race or into the final part of the race, but I guess you could call it a breakaway nonetheless. But then we have someone out on the front here, and our buddy Olsen, who's right behind us, don't know them, but they're our buddy now. He's gonna drop a massive sprint after this guy. After my thought is, do we chase this guy? I wasn't sure because there's only 1.8 kilometers left. He's only got like a second, 10 bike lengths ahead of us. But the second that elevation goes, we have another watt bomb dropped on us. And that's Olsen. He's flying. He or she are flying past the person, Willett, who originally threw out some watts, and I decide I'm going to try and chase here. I have to do something. I feel like I'm a second ahead of the people behind me. This guy's already got 3 seconds on me, and then very late into this power move that I've decided to do, Fish flies by me, and I decide, okay, let's let everyone catch up. Let's sit in the draft and try and make up as many places as possible during this final sprint. This is my original spot that I wanted to break away from, and I'm not going to be able to do so because I'm in the back of the pack. I'm in 21st, 23rd, and we still have our hill and our final sprint with 0.5 kilometers left in the race. Now, I remember this finish very well. It's a hard one. It hurts. And I'm going to put down about 450 watts, maybe push 500 up this hill. I need to be able to stay in the draft here and then be able to put down some power for a final sprint if I want to get in a top 10 at least, because the race is over. Whoever has shot out of a cannon to the top of this route is going to win. And now the sprint begins with 150 meters left. I can only put down 600 watts for a split second, and that's it. I have nothing left in the tank. My legs are dead. And I slide in 9th place in this race. I could not believe that I was this far back. But with what exactly happened, I'm happy with a 9th place. But originally, I was looking for a podium today. I'm not really sure how or what went wrong, other than I've been racing quite a bit this week. And hopefully next race is going to do better, even though I know that it's a Zwift Racing League race. And we are on 2 laps of Rising Empire, so I'm probably going to get dropped very quickly in that points race. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys next time for, I think a recon is going to be your next video. So thanks, and see you guys.